What is up, everyone? Hope you're doing well, staying safe, staying healthy, and of course, staying awesome. My name is Titan, and let's get into the video, shall we? Oh, this video is going to be primarily about the aviation industry, but like I said before, guys, it's going to be more than just fitness. As of the beginning of June, United Airlines has purchased or has ordered multiple supersonic aircraft. The aircraft that is the most similar to the ones that they're buying in terms of supersonic would be the Concorde. Now, as we all know, the Concorde is no longer flying, and there's a couple reasons why, and I'm going to explain later on, but right now we're going to go over the video that they just released talking about the plans to buy these supersonic jets and how are they going to function. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into that video.
It was 2003 when the Concorde last flew passengers over the Atlantic at twice the speed of sound. New York to London in 3 hours, but the Concorde was too loud and too expensive. A fatal crash in 2000 helped put an end to the program. Now, nearly 18 years later, the next generation of supersonic is almost here. Denver-based Boom is now ground testing a small prototype, the XB-1, with a bigger passenger version coming soon. And this morning, United Airlines is placing a very big bet on Boom, ordering 15 jets and possibly as many as 50, flying by 2029. So if I'm a United passenger, I may be flying your supersonic jet by the end of the decade.
By the end of the decade. We want to do supersonic as quickly as possible. We think the world needs this.
150 starting to flare.
Former fighter pilot Bill Shoemaker is Boom's chief test pilot, preparing for the first flight late this year or early next.
When you fly supersonic fighters, when you go from flying subsonic to supersonic, often you don't even notice that you've made that transition.
If you're in the passenger seat, do you feel the boom?
You don't. That's one thing that's a little surprising, is that you really feel nothing when you accelerate from subsonic to supersonic.
The new plane should be able to carry up to 88 passengers flying at 60,000 feet. New York to London in 3.5 hours. San Francisco to Tokyo in 6. Los Angeles to Sydney in 8.5. United thinks it's just what customers want.
The experience in the cabin is going to be a first-class experience. And, at 60,000 feet with big windows, it's going to be an amazing experience, one of a kind. You will see the curvature of the Earth, but even more exciting to me is if we take off in London just after sunset, you'll be able to watch the sun rise in the west as you get back to New York City. Eventually,
flights across the USA could be supersonic, cutting travel times in half.
We know that that's the product of tons of simulation.
Blake Scholl started Boom in his basement 7 years ago. While they haven't flown a plane yet, his company is today being compared to SpaceX and Tesla for its engineering prowess. Scholl says his Boom passenger plane called Overture will be carbon neutral, using new sustainable aviation fuel.
And so you take carbon out of the air, you burn it in the jet, you put it right back where you found it. So the whole thing is carbon neutral on a life cycle basis.
And far quieter than Concorde was when it was developed.
50 years later, we finally have the technology to do supersonic flight in a really mainstream, affordable way that's going to change the way tens of millions of people can get around the planet.
This morning, United Airlines has joined the bet. The world, it thinks, is ready for supersonic.
Tom, this sounds real good, but the question, I guess, is how much will a ticket cost on that flight?
So you may remember that back when Concorde was flying, it cost about $12,000 or so back in 2003 to fly over to London and back. Now they're talking about maybe cutting that in half. So probably in the neighborhood of $5,000 to $7,000, about the cost of a current first-class ticket. But listen, we're probably 9 years away or so from actually flying the plane. Ticket prices haven't been set yet. It'll evolve, and they hope that as more of these planes come out, they're going to be able to bring down the ticket price. And they think this is the way that we're all going to be flying eventually. Not just a few elite passengers, all of us will be going supersonic, guys.
Wow.
You think they'd give us the whole can of Coke?
So, as the video discusses, United's purchasing these aircraft, which is great. Now, let's go into some of the things that I think is probably going to happen. So, there are multiple reasons why the Concorde isn't flying anymore. And I'm going to link up 2 videos somewhere that it's going to explain why the Concorde inevitably failed. And, and the reason why it's no longer flying. So, one of the main reasons why the Concorde stopped flying was because it went supersonic, broke the sound barrier. It went faster than the speed of sound. So, when an aircraft does that, it lets out a big boom. Now, what ended up happening was the Concorde was going over cities. So originally its flight path, or the trips it would take, would go over land. And what ended up happening is during flight, the sonic booms would end up causing destruction, granted minor destruction, but still destruction. So the cities, places that it would fly over would report cracked windows, actually, or even windows getting completely blown out from these shock waves, sound waves. This caused the Concorde to be limited in its destinations, meaning it can only go over water, such as the oceans. It can only go over it can only have oceanic flights. So it was either only LA to Japan, LAX to Japan, or New York to England, and stuff of that. So that really limited its flight potential. The other thing was, as it was slowing down, it's just a very loud aircraft when it lands and when it takes off. So a lot of the time people didn't really want it in their vicinity. And again, due to the limited destinations it can go to, because it had to go over an ocean, and just overall people not liking it for how loud it was, that's why it inevitably started to decline. And then lastly, the Concorde accident with the debris on the runway causing the fuel line to rupture, and then basically causing the aircraft to crash and everyone on board perishing. And that was kind of one of the last nails in the Concorde, and basically put an end to supersonic flight. Now, with this video, the same things are occurring, and that's where my concern is, because you can only, let me see if I can get this up, you can only go over, where is it, if I can get the frames. And they say the United is a great airline, don't get me wrong, but
Passengers flying at
the destinations that they're planning on going is only overseas. So again, it's very limited. But so it's going to be San Fran. Let's see. So New York to London, over an ocean. San Fran to Tokyo, over an ocean, and Los Angeles to Sydney, again, over an ocean. So the destinations that they can go is very limited. Now, they mention in this video that they're working on going over the US or maybe over Europe, whatever. So potentially they might have improved the supersonic technology that prevents it from creating sonic booms while it's going over land. But I don't know. Overall, like, I would love to hopefully United maybe sees this video, or just maybe some questions could be answered, because it seems like it's gonna be the same result of the Concorde, that it's gonna be very limited. Now they said $6,000 per ticket, but it just seems like the same thing is gonna happen. That it's very limited in its destinations, and the tickets are too expensive. So ultimately, we're gonna see how this goes, and if it is a viable option. As I mentioned, it's not gonna be anytime soon. It's gonna be like 2029, but still, these are still questions that everyone that's at least mildly interested in air travel or in the aviation industry should be asking themselves. Can they actually bring back supersonic flight? You know, and supersonic flight and supersonic aircraft. Can they actually bring it back? But yeah, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on this. Didn't even know about it. Let me know what you thought about it now. I'm going to link the 2 videos that I mentioned before and this video below and up top. And if you like what you saw here, definitely like the video and subscribe for more great content. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.